New priorities from the federal government tonight that could change who gets a COVID vaccine shot here in Minnesota and when that happens. It comes the same day as dire warnings from Dr. Mike Osterholm and others that vaccination efforts are falling behind. And a window of opportunity may be closing fast as the virus continues to mutate. Here's Tom Lydon.
When we think of our nation's greatest achievements, they're triumphs not just of science, but the human will. And so it may be with the largest mass vaccination in human history.
We're in a race right now between getting vaccine into people so that we can prevent them from getting infected.
And no one's watching that race like the U of M's Dr. Mike Osterholm, who is on President-elect Biden's COVID advisory team.
We have done a terrible job in this country of explaining what these vaccines are, telling the story of Operation Warp Speed.
Operation Warp Speed may have developed a vaccine in record time, but the rollout to some has looked more like a stagecoach. Osterholm believes that'll change as state and local health departments take over, monitoring distribution in real time, like an air traffic controller. The critical link in that chain, not just the last mile, but the last inch, when a shot finally goes in an arm.
Like politics, all public health is local. It's all local. How you vaccinate people in a given neighborhood in Los Angeles is going to be different than how you vaccinate them in northwestern Minnesota.
329,000 doses have been shipped to Minnesota providers, but so far only 35% have been used. Another 100,000 doses are being distributed by pharmacy partners to long-term care facilities. But there are also significant time lags. The federal government informs Minnesota of its allocation of vaccine on Tuesdays. Last week, it was 66,000 doses, split evenly between Moderna and Pfizer. But Minnesota can't place its order until Thursday. Then the wait begins. By the time the vaccine arrives and reaches its final destination, it'll be this Friday, 10 days after allocation. And then today, the feds threw a curveball, telling states to begin vaccinating everyone over 65 and those with pre-existing conditions, similar to Biden's plan, but a departure from CDC guidelines, focusing first on healthcare workers and long-term care.
Every vaccine dose that is sitting in a warehouse rather than going into an arm could mean one more life lost or one more hospital bed occupied.
But the Minnesota Health Department sounded skeptical that those second doses will be available when the time comes.
What we learned was, just like you, we're in the point of trust but verify.
This is a fundamental retail problem. How do you minimize stockouts?
U of M professor KK Sinha is an expert in medical supply chains. Some of the difficulty, he says, is with the vaccine itself, requiring 2 doses and needing to be stored at -90 in a so-called cold chain, and must be used within 6 hours of preparation. But many experts say we also need to shift our thinking, from distribution through hospitals and clinics to large-scale vaccine events, like California is doing at Disneyland, with specific targeting for marginalized groups that suffer from healthcare disparities, like the homeless.
Not only have our citizens go to get care, but let's bring care to the people. The conventional wisdom as of this morning is that if we go at this rate, it'll probably take about 3 years to get the herd mentality, which is completely unacceptable.
Do we need, as a nation, to start thinking about mass vaccination events?
Well, I think all of the above. We should throw everything at this we can.
But it also takes place during one of the most turbulent times in America, when distrust of institutions, even science, is at an all-time high.
There are those who still believe this pandemic is not real, that in fact it is some kind of politically motivated activity. And I think those are going to be a very, very challenging group of individuals to get vaccinated if they ever will. Every moment that we don't do this, more people are becoming infected and dying. Just in the time that we're going to be doing this little interview here, as many as 10 to 20 people are going to die from COVID-19. And so what we have to understand is that we have to look at everything on the table.
Do you have any predictions about when this country may achieve something resembling herd immunity?
Tom, at this point, it really is in our own hands, and I don't know what that means.
It may mean that science has already done its part, giving us an effective vaccine in record time. The rest may be up to us. Tom Lydon, Fox 9.